Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Agnes, and I'm back. And for this week, let's catch up a little. I just got vaccinated. The brand that I got was Sputnik. At first I was a little scared because maybe I'll get really bad side effects, but so far I only have like heavy on. So for today's vlog, I wanted to take you guys for another vegan yogi diary with me as I do my yoga stuff and cook vegan recipes. Let's go, let's get out of here because your girl just got her first dose.
Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling beyond the ghost. We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, Ramona. I reach through mysterious ceilings, my only hope. I look for the things I don't know. I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honestly don't. I should be the last to know. We're all in this. I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honestly don't. I should be the last to know.
Got avocados, peanut butter, some whole wheat bread, soy milk.
I guess you always seem to know. Hello, I push back the serious feeling, the end's unknown. To get back the life I used to know.
Little tour around this resort that we're staying in.
We're all in this, I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honestly don't. I should be the last to know. We're all in this, I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honestly don't. I should be the last to know.
Hey guys, so just for an outro, I asked my friends on my Instagram account, asking them what they would like to see or know in my next YouTube vlog. So I was planning to really talk about something that is asked by my followers or friends, and there were a few answers, and the one that's really made me interested to talk about is this answer by Vala Olmo Records, and he wanted to know about my religious belief and connections of it in my vegan lifestyle. So I made an essay, just like every classic Agnes would do. So how is my religion connected to my vegan lifestyle? The first thing that really stuck in my head upon like thinking about what to talk about is normally vegans wouldn't really dive into the religious belief when they're asked why they are vegan. Not everyone has that reason. A lot of us, actually even me, have continued to go vegan because of the researches and science, the impact of animal agriculture to climate change. So I'm abstaining from all forms of exploitation as much as I could, and because of that I was trying to connect it with my spirituality, or religion. So I was actually baptized as Roman Catholic since I was born and raised by Catholic people. So both of my parents, like the whole family, is Catholic. So I also went to college in Xavier University. The religious order was Society of Jesus, so it was a very Jesuit community, and that's where I first learned how that's where I cultivated my awareness about social and personal evil. So that's also the place where I strengthened my faith and my relationship with God, since the start of my college until post-grad. And then 2018 happened, and I was inspired to go vegan by my brother Jason. It was him who convinced me to go vegan when he started noticing I had skin problems and general health problems. He also backed it up with science, so that's where I started to switch into veganism. But it was definitely not because of my religion, but that was also the time when I wanted to learn about yoga. So I enrolled in a yoga school, and you know how yoga teachers are like just so full of wisdom, even if they don't talk much about their opinions and beliefs. That was the time I tried to learn about yoga, and eventually that led me to Buddhism. And although yoga never really talked about Buddhism, there's no specific religion in yoga that would tell us to go for or convert into, because yoga is basically for everyone. And because of that, it dawned on me that there's really no limits as to what you want to learn in life, may it be religion or may it be whatever value that we want to explore. So from there, I started learning yoga, and in my yoga teacher training, I realized that wow, there is a connection about this whole practice, this whole lifestyle of yoga, of yogic, with veganism. Because in yoga we have this 8th limb path of yoga. The 8th limb path is like a process of learning how to practice yoga, and the first one is yama. Yama is Sanskrit word for abstinence. Abstinence, basically abstinence, like abstaining or avoiding or literally not making any action towards something. So there are actually 5 yamas. The first one is non-violence. That's just very aligned with how veganism practices non-violence, because when we say veganism, it's avoiding the exploitation of animals or the environment or the planet or all creatures in general as much as possible. So there's non-violence. But of course, in yoga lifestyle or in yoga practice, that is translated or that is manifested in the sense that when you are practicing yoga, you don't judge yourself. Instead, you are compassionate to yourself. That would also translate or manifest in your relationship with others. So the second one, the second yama is satya, or that's Sanskrit for truthfulness. Truthfulness in the sense that you seek the truth, that you live and practice authentically. You have to accept where you're at and don't deny the things that are actually happening in you, around you, or where you're at. So in veganism, that for me is translated into you're seeking the truth, that you're not denying what is in your head or what your ego is telling you. Instead, you accept what is happening. You accept the reality. That's basically learning how to be honest with yourself and being honest with your relationships. That way you are more focused and alert into your intention. The third yama is asteya. That's Sanskrit for non-stealing. So obviously the term itself is self-explanatory. Non-stealing, if we translate that into veganism, that's more of like things are not freely given. Animals are not born in this world for us to exploit and torture and consume because of our whatever need that we have. Things that actually have been traditionally carried into generations, and there's science too. I mean, if you think about it, their life is just as important as your life, as our life, as my life. So when we say asteya in the sense of yoga or the yoga practice, when we say non-stealing, I guess that's translated into what are the most important aspects of non-stealing, which is being respectful of other people's time, giving credit, and honoring other people's energies. The fourth yama is brahmacharya. That is Sanskrit for moderation. So moderation, when we translate that into veganism, that's basically now that you're vegan, or now that you're transitioning into veganism, there's no judgment as to what you should eat and what you should not eat. Instead, you just find what works for you and put yourself in the mindset that you consume things in moderation, because even in veganism, you can still be part of the problem if you don't control how you spend or how you consume. I'm sorry about that. Oh my god. And when I say problem, the problem about the exploitation of animals, the exploitation of workers, or capitalism per se, there's really a really thin line between how businesses work these days compared to capitalist. So you have to be very careful in that. The key is in moderation, and of course, if you find what works for you, if you find that sweet spot of creating your food on your own and are sustaining that lifestyle, that's really good. But you just have to remember that your intention is again aligned with your values. So brahmacharya, in translated into yoga practice, that's essentially the art of letting go, like self-restraint from something that your ego wants you to do. Instead, let it go and be in the present moment. Moderate yourself. That is very much manifested in how we meditate. And last but not the least, there is the fifth yama is aparigraha. That's Sanskrit term for non-hoarding. It's also kind of like a form of non-stealing or moderation, but in the sense that you are noticing that gifts freely given to you create bonds of attachment by creating feelings of obligation. So that is manifested in veganism through when you're living in a city or in a town where there's access to vegan food, you know that you're the only person who is practicing veganism. Instead of actually campaigning to purchase this certain product for everyone so that they can enjoy it as well, you're hoarding them. That's kind of like letting go at the same time, in the sense that you don't have to attach yourself into being vegan or becoming vegan, making that your identity. So in the practice of yoga, that's simply a detachment. There is no need for you to fill the shoes of other people or roles. And when you receive something like a gift, whatever their intentions are, you don't need or you don't have that obligation to reciprocate. Instead, you just are genuinely grateful for it and for them. But of course, it's very human to fall off of these yamas, but you have to remember that you are enough on your own and there's nothing else that you need more. So the important aspect of this is sharing, selfless giving, and collaboration. At the end of the day, every person in this world has every right to have their individual experience of spiritual awakening, and there's a valid path to that, and that teaches us gratitude. So, like for me, that's how I practice, or like that's how I integrate my spirituality or my religion to my vegan lifestyle. But of course, Catholicism or Christianity in itself actually does promote veganism because it is rooted on the value that we have to be compassionate with one another in our relationships around us, even like taking care of the environment and taking care of ourselves. So there's literally like a lot of religion out there that is aligned with being vegan. And when you actually ask people who are vegan from like international, we have this group called Vegan Humor. A lot of them are actually Caucasians and Indian and just people of color, and they're very open and so smart in articulating why they're vegan, and they don't explicitly drop their religion. Instead, they just root it with their value, that is compassion, just being an environmental steward. So there's no specific dogma that expresses that people should go vegan. Instead, people should be compassionate because it's actually very human, or that's our instinct. That's a very human instinct to not harm animals. It's only because of the conditions and traditions that have been practiced that led us into animal agriculture or industrialization. That's basically how today's world is shaped. But then again, there are also a lot of technology that made vegan meat accessible. So what's the harm in trying, right? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I rambled way too much, obviously, even if I'm just drinking water. Yeah, it's really hot and I need to go get some errands. Aside from that, I will see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.